Hello, my name is Veronica Chihovska. This is a public service announcement. Due to the coronavirus, the format for the iPulse News has changed. In an effort to minimize the spread, our reporters will be recording and reporting from their home. We hope everyone remains safe and healthy. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marissa McGrady with iPulse News. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, reports of American joblessness have jumped up 30% from last week, reaching 281,000 according to the Labor Department, which is the highest it's been since Hurricanes Harvey and Irma destroyed the states back in 2017. Goldman Sachs projects that by next week, jobless claims in America will skyrocket to, quote, 2.25 million, end quote. Joblessness will most likely continue to increase as the American economy is most likely going to face a recession due to this global pandemic. Oxford Economics chief U.S. economist Greg Dacko said, quote, the economy is assured of a recession, with output falling 0.4% in the first quarter and 12% in the second, end quote, as he predicts there will be 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline. I'm Marissa McGrady, and this has been iPulse News.
Hello, I'm Sofia Sokolova, and this is iPulse News. Former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, who was found guilty of rape and sexual assault last month and sentenced to 23 years in prison, has tested positive for coronavirus. According to the president of New York State Correctional Officer and Police Benevolent Association, Michael Powers, Weinstein and 2 other prisoners who also have tested positive for COVID-19 are isolated now. Mr. Powers also confirmed that several members of staff had been quarantined as well. As Weinstein lawyer reported, Mr. Weinstein feels good now and doesn't have any symptoms, yet was still concerned about his health and monitoring the situation. Harvey Weinstein was found guilty of committing a first-degree criminal sexual act against production assistant Mariam Hiley in 2006 and of the third-degree rape of actress Jessica Mann in 2013. New York jurors exonerated him of the most serious charges of predatory sexual assault, which could have seen him given even longer jail term. I'm Sofia Sokolova, and this is
The city of Miami has been shut down due to the coronavirus. After 278 cases that occur in the state of Florida, the government has taken drastic measures to prevent the virus from spreading. Throughout this circumstance, the mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, issued a curfew order for residents of the city on Tuesday, March 24th, which will be in effect until further notice. Statewide, the number of COVID-19 infections is 1,682, and the death toll is 22 according to the latest data from health authorities.
Hello, this is Brian Ryder reporting for iPulse News. The 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, scheduled to start on July 24th, have been postponed until 2021. Team Canada and Team USA came out with official statements this week, encouraging the IOC to postpone the Games for public safety concerns surrounding the coronavirus pandemic. Team Canada said in an official statement, quote, "This is not solely about athlete health. It is about public health. With COVID-19, it is not safe for our athletes and the health and safety of their families and the broader Canadian community to continue training towards these games," end quote. This has been Brian Ryder reporting for iPulse News.
Hello, and welcome to the iPulse News. I'm Veronica Chihovska. While most of the world is following CDC's orders and staying indoors to minimize the spread, some of the younger generation named virus rebels are ignoring the shutdowns and the CDC's orders all around the world. The virus rebels in Miami ignored the beaches closing and were seen partying. Police had to come and shut down the partygoers, and in a quote from AP News, the virus rebels tend to range from reckless teens to wealthy adults who can travel to their getaway homes. While in Italy, people will be arrested for violating the lockdowns unless they have special permission to be outside. For example, if you have a dog, you're allowed outside to walk your dog, but one man was seen trying to use this rule to his advantage by walking his goat. In fact, he is not the only one. Another unnamed individual was photographed outside walking his canary bird. In the picture, you can see the individual has tied a string around the canary's leg. And a quote from the Catalan police, nor caries, nor Vietnamese pigs, nor goats like this one we saw today are an excuse to go onto the street and break the confinement, end quote. Continuing with the coronavirus, as the number of coronavirus patients increases, the New York hospital system has banned partners and family members from being in the delivery room, forcing laboring mothers to go through labor and childbirth alone. On Monday, March 23rd, the New York City Hospital Network announced their new rule of no spouses and no family members in the delivery room. However, the New York State Department of Health released a statement saying, quote, "One support person should be in the delivery room as it is essential for patient care through the labor, delivery, and the immediate postpartum period," end quote. Many women are outraged and are taking matters into their own hands. One woman named Bailey Nolan, who is due in June, is going to drive to her obstetrician cousin in Philadelphia so her support system can be in the room. In a quote to the New York Times, Ms. Nolan said, "It is not the 1950s. You can't just expect them to go in and sedate them and push out a baby, and then they come home and dad is there smoking a cigar. This is not our reality anymore," end quote. Some hospitals are even encouraging expectant mothers to simply give birth at home. However, it is not as simple as one may think. Many midwives have released statements to the public to inform expecting mothers that they need a midwife. Doing a home birth alone without a midwife requires months and months of training. Many expectant mothers are taking this seriously and are booking midwives as fast as possible. In a quote given to the Washington Post, midwives across the country are taking to social media to say their practices are at capacity through the summer. Some are accepting patients late in the third trimester, and in rare instances, planning a home birth a day in advance.
Good morning, I'm Shelby Olivier Smith, and according to AP News, between the COVID-19 pandemic and America's collapsing economy, both the Republican and Democratic parties have to rethink their approach to winning not only November's elections, but also congressional control. Quote, "The message is we all need to come together, support the president and vice president, and do all we can to fight the virus," end quote, Republican strategist John Fahiri said. Quote, "Throw everything else out the window," end quote. While it seems the parties do want to come together, it seems President Trump is not entirely worried about the unity of the parties as much as his fellow politicians. As virus deaths accelerate in the U.S., President Donald Trump has gone against the advice of scientists and top health experts, claiming he will reopen the country and its ailing economy in weeks, not months. I'm Shelby Olivia Smith for iPulse News.
Hello, I'm Olivia Doles with iPulse News. As of Wednesday, March 25th, there was a total of 2,974 cases of coronavirus and 63 confirmed deaths. Governor Gavin Newsom urges the residents of California to stay home in order to prevent others from getting the virus. This all began on March 19th when the restrictions started and will stay put until further notice. Newsom recently was informed that more than half the state could be in jeopardy within the next 2 months. As of March 21st, essential services will remain open, such as the grocery store, gas stations, food banks, food markets, and pharmacies. Though the essential services will remain open, social distancing is still required. Though Newsom's first choice is not home isolation, Newsom said, quote, "Go about the essential patterns of life and do so by socially distancing yourselves from others and do so using common sense," end quote. I am Olivia Doles, iPulse News.